The wise man speaks because he has something to say. The fool speaks because he must say something. Socrates emphasizes the importance of thoughtful speech. The wise choose their words carefully, based on knowledge, while the foolish speak aimlessly without clear purpose. Be as you wish to be, not as others want you to be. Socrates encourages living according to one's values and goals rather than conforming to the expectations of others. Know yourself. This famous phrase urges individuals to reflect on themselves and understand their strengths and weaknesses. Socrates believed that true knowledge begins within and that one must be honest with oneself to achieve genuine wisdom. True wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. This statement expresses intellectual humility. Socrates emphasizes that acknowledging ignorance is the first step toward gaining wisdom, as ignorance drives a person to seek knowledge and learn. The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and contemplating one's actions and decisions. Without self-examination, life lacks depth and purpose. A good man cannot be harmed but by himself. Socrates believes that goodness and harm are tied to a person's actions and decisions. A moral individual cannot be spiritually harmed unless they act against their principles. Virtue cannot be taught. Socrates holds that virtue is the result of inner wisdom and experience, not something that can be directly taught. Virtue arises from practicing moral reasoning and awareness. True strength does not come from the body, but from the spirit. Socrates emphasizes that true strength lies in the resilience and steadfastness of the spirit, not merely in physical power. Willpower, courage, and perseverance define a truly strong individual. Beauty is not in the body, but in the soul. Socrates believes that true beauty emanates from morality and a pure soul, not physical appearance. External beauty is transient, whereas the beauty of the soul endures. Evil happens due to ignorance, not malicious intent. Socrates believed that people commit evil out of a lack of understanding of what is right or good, not because they intentionally desire harm. Understanding and knowledge can lead to a more ethical life. Every person must bear responsibility for themselves. Socrates stresses the importance of individual responsibility. A person is the maker of their decisions and destiny, and they must face the consequences of their actions with courage. The desire for good is the foundation of wisdom. Socrates believes that the desire to do good and avoid evil is the primary motivation for seeking true wisdom. Wisdom manifests in moral action. Moderation is the foundation of virtue. Socrates advocates for balance in life. Moderation helps individuals control their desires and achieve a harmonious life aligned with moral values. The mind is the tool of the highest good. Socrates believes that the mind is the instrument that enables individuals to discern between good and evil and make the right choices to lead a virtuous life. Ignorance is the root of all evil. Socrates connects ignorance with committing mistakes or evils. An ignorant person is unaware of the consequences of their actions, making them prone to error. Happiness does not come from material desires, but from inner peace. Socrates suggests that true happiness is not dependent on possessions or wealth but arises from achieving inner balance and self-contentment. Fruitful discussion is the only way to reach the truth. Socrates employed dialectical dialogue as a method to explore ideas and uncover the truth. He believed that logical discussion can dispel ignorance and reveal reality. The mind should be guided by virtue, not desire. Socrates believed that the mind should control a person's decisions and not be enslaved by desires or passions. Virtue should be the guiding principle of life. Do not fear death, but fear a life without value. Socrates viewed death not as an end but as a transition. The real fear should be living without purpose or meaning. The pursuit of truth is the greatest task of man. Socrates emphasized that the primary goal of humans is to seek understanding of the truth, as it fosters wisdom and virtue. Great minds discuss ideas, while small minds discuss people. Socrates stresses the importance of focusing on ideas and principles instead of being preoccupied with individuals and their flaws. Deep thinking is a mark of wisdom. True friendship is based on virtue. Socrates believed that genuine friendship is not built on personal interests or material benefits but on shared morals and mutual respect. Learn how to ask the right questions. Socrates was renowned for his Socratic method of dialogue, where he asked questions that prompted others to think deeply. Asking the right questions is the key to wisdom. No one does wrong knowingly. Socrates believed that all evil actions stem from ignorance. If a person truly understands what is good, they will not choose wrongdoing. Genuine understanding leads to virtue. Acknowledging ignorance is the first step to wisdom. Socrates encourages intellectual humility and recognizing one's lack of knowledge as a fundamental step toward gaining wisdom. Admitted ignorance drives learning and inquiry. It is not wealth that makes a man virtuous, but virtue that brings wealth and all good things to man. Socrates emphasizes that the pursuit of virtue should take precedence because virtue brings true goodness, including real wealth, which is self-contentment. Virtue is knowledge, and ignorance is evil. Socrates considers virtue as dependent on conscious knowledge of good and ignorance as the root cause of all evils, as it obstructs a proper understanding of morality. The hardest battle is the one a man fights against himself. Socrates suggests that internal struggles, such as resisting desires and controlling passions, are far more challenging than external confrontations. The good life is based on good thinking. Socrates connects the quality of life to one's ability to think rationally and make wise decisions. Sound thinking leads to a virtuous and happy life. Suffering can be a tool for learning. Socrates believes that suffering and challenging experiences can serve as opportunities for learning and gaining wisdom. Difficulties help individuals understand life more deeply. A good dialogue is like childbirth. It brings new ideas into the light. Socrates compares dialogue to childbirth, where productive discussions help uncover hidden ideas and bring them into the world. Law is reason free from passion. Socrates argues that laws should be based on wisdom and logic rather than emotions or personal interests to achieve justice. Virtue is not something we are born with, but something we practice. Socrates asserts that virtue is not an innate trait but requires consistent practice and moral awareness to cultivate. Virtue is the mean between excess and deficiency. Socrates believes that virtue lies in balance, avoiding extremes in any direction to achieve a virtuous life. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to face it. Socrates believes true courage does not mean feeling no fear but having the inner strength to confront and overcome it.